lives amongst the things that teenagers usually deal with. But the thing that I love the most about this movie is that I feel like it is very realistic. It's things that teenagers would actually deal with. And you'll see they even go to prom. That's one of the scenes that I am in as the role of Erica Morris, and I come in and kind of play a little bit of a villain in some parts of it. But yes, it is very much the iconic teen romance, sort of
Uh,
rom-com too. There's some
Are you
funniness in it.
the Cruel Intentions Sarah Michelle Gellar type?
A little bit, yes. It's more intentions for my own gain. I don't want to spoil too much, but I use one of the characters for my own agenda.
Okay, okay. So dare I say, you're a bit of dare I say, sweet and innocent on the outside, but a bit of dare I say, a badass on the inside in terms of adventure.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I think it's very clear what I'm doing in the film. So it'll be fun for people to watch and
Okay.
see that interaction.
And do you like those sort of playing those roles, those vixen type roles, Kylie? Are they sort of fun to play? The sort of dare I say the fraternity girls, the sort of those sort
Mean
of girls
Girls.
that are high society that sort of look down on everyone else. Are as an actress, are they fun to play? Because probably they're so far away from reality.
Yeah, they are. They're actually some of the ones that I get the most auditions for, being that I am blonde. I think I also have kind of this innocent appearance to me, so it provides a good contrast when the character does have like these internal kind of evil things they're looking for. So I do get a lot of those, and sometimes the dumb blondes. I'm trying to more get into roles that show a lot more dynamics, which I do feel like the evil girls do have because they're pretty smart, I would say.
Yeah, I suppose they're the one that could conjure up the plans. So if you're conjuring up a plan, you have to be smart. You're the one. Dare I say, you're the one leading it. You're not the one following. In terms of that.
Yes. Yeah, and
And
there's sort of this
yeah.
control they like to have. So it's fun to watch them battle those internal things as well.
Kylie, how did the opportunity come about for you? Was it the usual taped audition role from a talent agent and waiting to hear back, sitting away, not knowing what's going to happen, and then out of the sudden you get a call or a text or mobile from an agent saying that you have to be in Utah for 2 or 3 days' time?
Yes, I was actually living in Utah at the time that this was
Okay.
filming, so it was a good coincidence. And yeah, I did have a self-tape audition through my agent. I've been an actress since I was 4, so that's just how it goes normally. You do so many auditions, it's like rolling dice and hope you get a call back. And this one I did, and it ended up being a really, really fun set and really fun cast to be on, so I felt very honored.
And did you know Ginnie Ortega was attached from this when you auditioned, or was that a nice surprise your talent agent told you when you landed the role?
You know, I didn't even know that she was going to be in the movie. I didn't know who the cast was until I was at the fitting and I saw their pictures on the wall for wardrobe. And I was like, wait, I've seen that face before. And I was able to put it together. But this was actually, we started filming this before Jenna had done the
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it even came out. So it came out right as we were filming. And so there was actually a lot of issues with fans and different things where they had to end up getting like some security for Jenna. So it was kind of a whirlwind timing wise of how this all happened and pieced together so perfectly. So it was also really
She
cool that we
was
got
she was just shooting to fame basically when you were just shooting it.
yeah, and Percy also was on the Wednesday series. So that's what's so special about this film is that we have two leads from a whole different world in film, and the fans are going to be able to see them just in a different light coming together. I think people really shipped both of them in the Wednesday series, so it's kind of exciting to see them having a romance in a different world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Far away from the sci-fi sort of genre, that sort of that Halloween era that is the Addams Family. Kylie, in terms of the shooting in Utah, how long was the production? Were you there 3 to 4 weeks? Were you there for maybe half of that schedule, or did you stay for the full lot?
I was there for a short amount of time, but I know that they were filming for a few months in Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in Salt Lake City and they found a bunch of places around there. The movie takes the story through the different seasons of the months, so winter, spring, summer, fall. So they did come during a time when there was lots of snow, which sometimes can be hard for filming, but I think they managed to make it work. But Utah's a beautiful place. It's a great set.
And did you have much interaction with all the cast, Kylie?
Yes, I did. Yeah, when you're an actress and you're cast as, I was a supporting role, but we sit in the back with everybody, all the actors, and you kind of have like your scene studies and you hang out until you have to go on set. It's I always say this, acting is actually a lot of sitting and waiting. Then you have your final moment to do your performance, but most of the day it's spent sitting until they call you and go in. So yeah, I got to hang out with Jenna and Percy a bit, and they're wonderful people, very welcoming and warm. Jenna's very polite and professional and very focused, which I learned a lot from just being able to watch how each person on the set interacts and does things. And Percy has a way of making everybody feel seen and heard and welcomed. And on a set, on a movie set, it's like having a family, and every single person there plays an integral role in creating the art, and so every person's important. So I loved that Percy was able to really just make every person there feel welcome and seen. And in some sets there's kind of a hierarchy, it feels like, among actors and if they have a bigger role versus not. And on that set it did not feel that way. It felt
Yeah.
very welcoming, amazing.
And Kylie, did you learn much from the daddy of the set, Adam Rodriguez, a very experienced actor? Did you learn any personal advice from him? Because he's been in an awful lot of series and movies throughout his illustrious career.
Yeah, just being around such professional, hardworking people, just getting to watch how they handle themselves on a set when it is time to work. Because for actors it's not all, when you're on a set, a lot of socializing. It's a lot of, we have to like focus and be in our character, be in our role. And but I loved having those moments where we were just sitting back and being able to talk to them just about daily life stuff and having some of those connections. I think that's what makes it more like a set family. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kylie, is there any sort of stunts in terms of or sequences for your character within the movie in terms of sort of action sequence? Is there any sort of sequence, dare I say, where foul play is in hand or you're the victim of foul play?
Um, there's not stunts, but I did have my first on-screen kiss in this film. So, I essentially use one of the characters to get back at my ex and try to make him jealous. And he does have a stunt. He has a stunt. I don't. He takes Percy and sort of gives him a riling up and warns him about me. But yeah, I luckily didn't have to do anything crazy other than kiss a guy on camera, which I didn't really realize. I've done a lot of films and different things, but I had never done an on-screen kiss, and you actually have to kiss the person. So but luckily there's intimacy coordinators and different things like that. So it ends up being a very professional, not as nerve-wracking as I thought it was going to be.
And for that sort of experience, do you just go with the flow in terms of that? Or are you consciously thinking, oh, how does this look? How are my facial expressions in terms of how am I actually? Because you can't, there's no mirror, you can't see back. While I suppose in real life, you just go with the flow, whether it's a disco or a nightclub, you just go with the flow. It's just real life scenario. But I imagine the actors are sometimes are their own worst self critics in terms of how do they look and eye motion. And I suppose doing a sequence like that, you have no control over how you look because it's impossible to be able to cast back when you're engaging in a sequence like that.
Yeah, we actually had to record the kissing part for a few minutes and just keep going and going and going. And definitely there's those thoughts in your head of, oh my gosh, do I look awkward? Am I okay? Am I embarrassing myself? Also, it was like, how into it do we need to be? Does it need to be just like subtle and light, or like comedic type of just like all over each other type of thing? So there are a lot of those thoughts. And yeah, I think as an actor, you are always worried about portraying the right thing and making sure it looks natural and yeah, not embarrassing yourself. So I don't think I did. I feel like kissing is a very natural, normal thing, so it probably looks fine.
Okay, okay. No doubt I'll take your word for it, Kylie. Kylie, I do believe as well that you're up and coming, rising, talented musician. Is that something that you mentioned you've been a child actor since the age of 4? I imagine that it comes with that. You've been probably involved in the show and theatre and music from that young age as well. So is that a sideline dream, the music, or which did you, or is it both? You have even heart for both, or is there one over the other that takes a preference?
That's the hardest question. I do have an even heart for both. Yes, I have been an actress since I was 4, grew up in the industry. I did stuff with Disney. I was the voice of a Disney cartoon character on Doc McStuffins. So I've done a lot of stuff with acting, and singing has always been an internal passion of mine that I just didn't know that I had the tools to necessarily do. I'm classically trained singer. And these past couple years, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to step into everything that I want to do. I have the time right now and give it my all. So I've been working with a producer. We're gonna put out my first EP. I have one single out right now, and we're gonna be going heavy with sharing the new music that I have coming because it really relates to my life, and I feel like it's my artistic outlet, and it's something I'm very passionate about.
And Kylie, what sort of genre of music? Is it indie? Is it country? Is it poppy? What type of genre of music do you sing?
I would say it's indie. I bring in a lot of touches to past things. One of my songs is going to be called Benny, and it has a kind of a doo-wop sort of sound. I love to bring in old music and make it modern. And so it's a mix. It's a mix of things. The best way to put it is indie. And the best way you could think of my artistry is a sunny beach blonde girl. That's the best way to put it.
And
You'll
do you
hear it in
like the notion of going down collaboration sort of routes and in terms of that, or are you very much or do you sing with along with instruments or
Yeah, we have electric guitar in there, and well, I have a wide variety of instruments. We have a real violin, real viola in one of my songs, and it goes along with the electric guitar, which is it sounds like it would sound weird, but you have to hear it. I'm combining a lot of classical instruments with modern things. So it's really fun. Yeah, and I do play guitar, so there's a little bit of that in there as well.
okay. Kylie Anderson, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Oh, by the way, Kylie Anderson, have you ever been to Ireland?
I have not, and it's on my bucket list.
Okay, okay. So, took piece of advice for you if you're going to Ireland. There's two main airports, one on the east and one on the west. If you want to go to see all the old Viking castles and the old Irish heritage and history, then you'll be flying into the west, which would be Shannon, around that Galway, Limerick, Cork, Clare. If you want to go just to see the big city of Dublin, then you're flying into Dublin Airport on the east in terms of that. So it's just a personal preference of what you want to do.
Yeah, well, my ancestry is from Ireland, so I will have to go and visit some places that my old family's from. So,
Okay.
thank you for the advice.
No problem. And Kylie, I'll turn it over to you now for the final 30 seconds. You might enlighten all our audience, all our listeners, why they should go to their cinema screens en masse, watch winter, spring, summer, or fall. And when they do, Kylie Anderson, what's in store for them?
Well, it's a heartwarming film, and it's something that you're not going to want to miss because I think it has a lot of things that are very relatable to our day and age, teenagers, and even parents. I mean, there's a struggle dynamic between the characters with their parents as well. And so I think it has a lot of great lessons to learn, and you're getting to see some very talented actors do something in a different light that maybe you wouldn't. It's bringing actors from different worlds into a more real life film. So it's not something you're going to want to miss.